All right, what's up, business builders? Again, all this month we're talking about Indeed, different features, how to maximize your dollars and your time spent on it. Before we jump in, really good way to do this is watch this on your phone, and then I would pull up on your laptop or your desktop Indeed and follow along with me as I go through this, okay? So what we're going to talk about today is the analytics part, which is very, very important, right? Get insight onto the data and how things are performing. So what I would do, you log into Indeed, you're going to look up at the top left, you got dashboard, find candidates, and then analytics. All of this is in that black top bar. Now the interface to Indeed may change in a year or two. If you're watching this later, it's called analytics, right? So you're going to click that. It's going to open up kind of this overview page, and then there'll be some other sub tabs with it, like jobs, campaigns, reports, hiring insights. What you want to look at is just the overview part to begin, and there's going to be a lot of information on this. I'm going to break down each one, what it means. First and foremost, you can select date ranges, right? So you're going to be able to do that. I typically look at the data just month to month. Week to week is a little difficult with hiring stuff, but it's really good to look like, hey, what was everything last month, and then what is it this month so far? Or you know, you look at 6 months, consecutive past 6 months. As you go down, you see job performance summary. Okay, so you can see the candidate behavior funnel. And this is basically just gonna walk through that candidate experience, starting with impressions. Okay, an impression is a view, it's an eyeball. Okay, somebody scrolling on Indeed job board and they saw your job ad, all right? After that is gonna be a click. And then you've got your click-through rate, CTR. So then that's somebody physically clicking the ad. Okay, if you've got mover driver ad, they clicked it. And then the next stat they're gonna show is an apply start rate, ASR. So that's the percentage, okay, that's a percentage of people that started the application. And then over on the far right of this candidate behavior funnel, you're gonna see apply starts. Okay, so that's a number, that's a quantity. How many people started the application. The only thing with that number is it's started the application. They don't actually give you a finished number of apps submitted on that part. You can look at that and break it into sponsored or organic. So organic is like you have a free job ad up, and then sponsored would be anything where you're sponsoring the job ad, right? You know, it's good if you're sponsoring something, it's good to separate the two, look at them. I'll be honest, a lot of times, I give you guys a big insider, there are a lot of clients we have that their organic does just as good as sponsored. There's times when the sponsored does better, but a lot of times I find that the organic is just as good. And there's some little inside tips on how to do that. We'll cover that in another video. You know, I'm looking here and some of these numbers like the click-through rate, if you have a click-through rate and that's the person saw your ad on the job board and then they like, I'm interested in that, they click it. If that number is 7.5% or higher, that's pretty good. If it's lower than that, if it's like 5%, it's kind of low, which just means that your job title just may not be that appealing. And that's really the only reason why someone clicks the ad, is the job title is something they think they might be interested in. So CTR is going to be directly associated with how attractive or appealing your job ad title is. Then the apply start rate, that's more affiliated with like how compelling is the description, okay, the actual ad copyright. And then overall, like, is it something they want to do, right? If the person's looking for upper management job, they might not be interested in being a mover, right? The amount of people that start that application, you know, that's somebody that's pretty serious, right? They're actually looking for a job. People don't just apply to stuff when they're not looking. So if you scroll down a little bit, you do some other data, you can see desktop versus mobile clicks. You can look at that, but primarily, here's the gist. 85-90% is all on mobile. 10 or 15% is gonna be on desktop. So just know that, like most people are job searching on their phone. Cost per click campaign performance. So if you're doing a cost per click sponsored ads on Indeed, then it'll show you data there. It'll break down like total spend, cost per click, cost per app start, and cost per apply. The cost per apply is the important one, right? How much money did it cost me to get someone to apply? And then if you scroll a little bit further, you've got data on candidate search. So this is directly related to your Indeed resume work, all right? We talked about that in a separate video. So it'll tell you how many subscriptions you have, and then on the left side and then on the right side, it's gonna have responses. Okay, this is the data that you really want. So you're gonna have the total amount of responses, then it'll tell you response rate, which if I reached out to 100 people, I sent 100 emails, and then I got 25 of them to respond, then I had a 25% response rate. But then what I want to know is, because there's 3 different types of responses. There's a positive response, and the way that they send that email is this little box, the Indeed resume, outbound email. It's basically, yes, I'm interested, no, I'm not interested, or they could just reply directly back to the email, like they could type out a response. So there's 3 options there. Most times, if they respond, I don't know, more times than not, it's saying that they're not interested. So I don't care about total responses. I want to know what the positive responses were. How many of those did I get? So the far right, you have a little bar and it'll tell you out of the total responses, how many were positive. So like what I'm looking at, I'm seeing 16 total responses, 50% positive. So what's that mean? 8 positive responses. That's the number you want. That's what I want to do. How many positive responses did I get out of the total that I sent? And then if you go further on the analytics page, you can see brand performance. This is if you pay. Indeed has like a couple features where you can pay for more employer branding. And that's where like you can have your company rating, reviews. A lot of people don't use that. I think it is a good separator, but it costs some money, so it's an investment. And then if you go further, there's just some more stuff on like brand job posts, brand ad impressions. That's all in the same concept. You can pay to like have your logo and like your banner with images and whatnot. So that's a little bit of the breakdown, a little bit lengthy video here, but basically you just want to look at this month to month, compare your numbers, figure out, hey, is this getting better? Is it getting worse? And then you can go in, what I would recommend is if you make changes to your ads, make them month to month, so that way you can see, okay, hey, we changed this, we changed our description and the body of the job ad, and our apply start rate went up 10%. It probably was in correlation to the change in the description. So hopefully that helps. Again, all of this series is all on Indeed, how to use it better. Hey, if you don't want to have to do all this stuff, if you want an expert, Move Up Consulting, you can let us know. We'll help you out. But all this is free content, so that way you can grow your business. All right, catch you guys on the next one.